We are live.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful Friday night, 73 degrees here in Kirkwood, Missouri. Your Kirkwood Pioneers facing off against the Hazelwood West Wildcats. It's senior night here in Kirkwood, and the student section is dressed in all white as Kirkwood is ready for some beautiful football weather. They're facing off against the 0-8 Hazelwood Wildcats, and here they come, Kirkwood Pioneers.
Oh, it's a beautiful sight.
My mic is off.
Fantastic. Alrighty then, and they are all out.
All right, we are the Kirkwood Call coming to you live from. No, we're the call. Oh, I'm back on. We're the call numbers. Thank you.
We are Kirkwood Call, baby.
The operator's really angry at me right now. He's a cage to be back.
This is a collaborative effort between the Kirkwood Call and KHTV, bringing you this wonderful broadcast on this fine Friday evening.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. I'm Mason Heller coming to you with the color commentator. My partner is Owen Backer.
Hello there, I'm his partner in crime, and we're going to be commentating a football game. Before we will take part here in the national anthem. We are back, and it is almost time for football. Mason, how do you think the Kirkwood Pioneers are going to do in this game? They came off a very strong win last week over McClure, and now they look to replicate that success.
Yeah, Kirkwood's going to be looking to get a big lead early so they can cycle in some of their seniors. So we'll see what happens here.
Certainly. Hazelwood West comes into this game 0-8. They are winless on the year. Certainly not the strongest start, but you'd think that final game of the season, they got a lot to play for. You know, maybe looking at some kind of trap game here. You never know.
I completely agree. I think that Kirkwood can't be going into this too confident, but at the same time, you also want to have a good sense of what your abilities are as a team, and I think that Kirkwood has the advantage here.
Absolutely. This is certainly the Kirkwood Pioneers' game to lose. We'll see what they can do here. If Kirkwood wins this game, they do secure a home playoff game, so they are playing for a lot here.
I think that Kirkwood's going to be energized immensely by the fans tonight. I think that
Certainly.
the crowd size is going to play a huge factor. There's no one in the stands for Hazelwood West. Kirkwood's got an entire community behind them tonight, and I think they've got a good shot at this win.
Absolutely. Well, the coin toss happening right now. All the seniors out there united in one long chain, and we will see what they do here. I'm excited.
I am too. Go ahead and give your own, and welcome to, I don't know what this field is called, but welcome to Kirkwood.
Lions Memorial Stadium.
Lions Memorial
Established
Stadium.
October 12th, 1954, I believe.
Okay, thank you very much, Becker. Welcome to a beautiful night for some Kirkwood Pioneer football. It's senior night here in Kirkwood, and your Kirkwood Pioneers are facing off against the Hazelwood West Wildcats as they look to secure a home playoff spot tonight, their final home game. I'm Mason Heller alongside Owen Backer, and we are excited for this night of football.
It is truly very hype. Senior night. Kirkwood coming in here the big overdogs, but we'll see if this is manifests as some kind of a trap game. Pioneers, all they have to do is really stay mentally strong, and I think they'll be able to pull through. This is certainly Kirkwood's game to lose.
Completely agree. Kirkwood lost the coin toss and is going to be kicking off to the Wildcats here. Miles Crudy with the kick.
And it was a decent little return there for Hazelwood. They will start with the ball on their own 20-yard line as they try to generate some offense on this first drive. It's a direct snap, a very peculiar formation. I'm not exactly sure what to make of that. Surely something like that was on film.
Certainly an interesting setup. They had one of their defensive linemen in the backfield. Really interesting setup from Hazelwood West.
It'll be a gain of maybe 1. Check that. It'll be a gain of 3. Another jumble formation here. It's another direct snap, and he will run forward. This time he's going to pick up maybe 4. It'll now be a 3rd down.
Kirkwood's defensive coordinator probably going to be scratching his head here to figure out this formation.
3rd down and 3 for Hazelwood, and they are in a hurry-up offense here, not spending too much time in the huddle. Lined up, same formation.
Kirkwood's got a couple extra guys on the line here.
Snap directly. He's going to raw it to his right, and I don't believe he will have broken the plane there. It's going to be a 4th down and 1.
I think they might be moving the chains. Yep, they are.
Must have lunged forward just enough there.
Referee was standing directly on top of that orange and black pylon there, so we're thinking that he just got enough yardage for that.
Be a 1st down and 10 here from the 30-yard line. Hazelwood Wildcats once again in this jumbled formation. Ball once again a direct snap to the receiver. He will charge forward, and this time the Pioneers are ready for it. They'll deck him in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1.
Hazelwood's optioning to bypass a quarterback, which is kind of interesting. Certainly an interesting strategy to get around Kirkwood's defense here.
When you're a team like Hazelwood West, obviously you don't have the strongest personnel. You're 0-8 this year. You know, you kind of have to work with what you got, and this is clearly the formation that's gotten them through most of the season, and it's probably just doing the best they can with what they have.
Completely agree. Kirkwood's going to have to figure out a way to avoid missing the point on this, I guess.
That'll be a traditional handoff to the running back there on a little outside run, and he will be hit in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, maybe 2.
Good reaction by Kirkwood there and the defensive lineman.
Few defensive substitutions here. It'll be a 3rd down and 13 for Hazelwood, as Jaden Sloan subs out for number 14, Rick Williams.
Williams, the junior, probably eager to get some playing time here.
Certainly. And he is decked in the backfield. That'll be a big loss. They're back to where this drive started, and they will be forced to punt. It is a 4th down and 17.
Incredible play from Kirkwood's defensive line there. That jumbo formation was working for Hazelwood West, and they switched it up. Proved to be the fatal mistake for them on this drive, and Kirkwood's going to probably get some pretty good field position from this punt.
Last game against McClure, it was a wild special teams battle. There were numerous blocked punts and special team scores. We'll see if things calm down a little bit in this game. This is our first punt of the contest. Snap's good. Punt, and that one is a line drive. It's going to roll right to the returner. Muffs it a little bit, and he's brought down. It'll be no real return.
Number 2, Bruce Malone on the return. He had 2 punt returns for 50 yards last game, 1 for a touchdown. You expect him to be your guy tonight on special teams.
The Kirkwood Pioneers offense will take over here. 1st down and 10 on the 41-yard line, so pretty favorable field position to start off here.
Kirkwood opting for more traditional formation compared to Hazelwood West jumbo.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, running back in the backfield. Deion Brown sent to the left. The snap, and it will be a flag to start the drive.
Looked like Kirkwood moved on that one. We'll see if it goes on them. Yeah, that's going to be a penalty on the Pioneers there. Despite their relative discipline, I would suppose, in their first couple of games, they had almost 80 penalty yards against McClure last week, and we're looking to avoid that trend again.
Yeah, Coach Macklin was apparently not very happy with the sloppy play from the Pioneers in that last dominant win against McClure. This time it's a handoff to Brown on the sweep play. He's going to rumble forward there. It'll be a gain of about 4. 2nd down and 11 coming up.
Kirkwood's certainly going to have to work their way through this drive, but if we know anything about Kirkwood, their run game is so incredibly strong that they can rely on it pretty heavily until the Wildcats figure it out and then move to the receiver game, and they seem to do well in that as well.
Snap. Handoff to Brown at the middle on the inside run. He's going to spin out of a little bit of contact and get to the 50-yard line, but it's not enough for the first. It'll be a 3rd down and 6.
Brown against Lindbergh set Kirkwood's record for 7 rushing touchdowns and almost 350 yards. If there's one man that Kirkwood needs to win this game tonight, it's Deion Brown.
He was shut down, relatively speaking, at least against McClure the following week, although anything seems like shut down after scoring 7 touchdowns. Snap here. Hand off to Brown once again, and this time he's got the first, and he's got a little bit more. He steps out of bounds there. That'll be good enough for a 1st down.
Brown has some really good eyes when it comes to field position. He's really good at finding those holes, working his way up the field. That's one thing that Coach Jeremy Ackland's praised about him. He's a D1 commit, and he looks to be proving that tonight.
Kirkwood switching out quarterbacks here. Creighton Wise now coming in. Omar Hopkins was the quarterback for the beginning of this drive. He was, of course, injured a few weeks ago against Marquette and had not played since. Wise is decked in the backfield.
It's a loss
There
of
was
6.
3 separate defenders in the backfield. He had nowhere to go, and he is decked in seconds.
Looks a little angry. See if Hopkins comes in to direct this run game. Kirkwood might opt for a dual quarterback system tonight. We'll see if Creighton Wise is in charge of the passing and Omar Hopkins is in charge of the run game.
Wise certainly didn't disappoint in his few starts. We'll see if they go for that dual QB option. Snap to Wise. He's going to roll to his right. He's looking. He throws it, and that one is caught by Larry Robinson. He's turned upfield. He's at the 20, and he is pushed out at the 15-yard line. It'll be a big gain for the Pioneers. They lose 8 yards on that play on the sack and then immediately turn around and gain over 20. That's a huge momentum swing, and the Pioneers are now in the red zone.
Great play, a great heads-up play from Creighton Wise. Turned to his right when he got some pressure from the left side and found a wide-open Larry Robinson, who's been great for the receiving core of Kirkwood this year.
Empty backfield here, 5 wide receivers. The snap to Wise. He drops back, throws to his first read, and that is, in and out of the hands of Cameron Richardson in the end zone. He had the defender beat, but he couldn't quite haul it in. It'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Pioneers.
Richardson's definitely going to be beating himself up over that, but good news is Kirkwood's still got 3 downs to make it up, and they don't look like they're being challenged too hard by Hazelwood West's defensive line.
It is 1st down and 10 from the 19, so the Pioneers still have a 1st down before it's 1st and goal.
Be on the lookout for number 14, Rick Williams, tight end.
Wise looking to his left, 2 receivers there. Snaps. Handoff to Brown. He's got the outside, and he is running up the middle, and he will score! Touchdown, Pioneers. That'll go for 19 yards for the running back, Dion Brown. He went nigh untouched.
Brown again finding those holes, made his way to the left where there were no defenders, and he just slipped right through. Easy touchdown for Dion Brown. Number 42, Miles Kruger, will come in for the kick. He's a senior, so it's likely we won't see the other side of this kicker battle that we've seen this year in number 45, Jed Holliday.
High snap, but the kick is still good. It will be 7-0 Pioneers here with 5:55 remaining in the 1st quarter.
Pioneers looking good so far, and you expect them to continue this momentum. That drive was rather impressive. They took 2 significant losses in yards and managed to make them up within 1 or 2 plays, and Kirkwood's offensive coordination so far has been able to deal with most of what Hazelwood West has put up in terms of a defensive rush. If you're Kirkwood's offensive coordinator right now, you're thinking, I need to favor Dion Brown because he is a man on a mission tonight.
Definitely. Obviously not the perfect drive, but there was a pretty good balance that drive of passing and of running. You saw 2 different quarterbacks and some different plays, overall stretching the field, and it ends in a touchdown. Pioneers set to kick off now. This kick is up.
What a blast.
It's way up there, and it bounces harmlessly into the end zone. It will be a touchback.
Kruger's got quite the leg on him, doesn't he?
He has an absolute cannon on his leg. Hazelwood West, offense taking over here. There wasn't no positives from that last drive, but it still ended in a very short drive and then a punt. See if they can get something more going here.
They're in about the same field position as last drive, so Hazelwood West will be looking to take advantage of Kirkwood's confusion on that jumble formation. We'll see if they favor it more this drive.
Things looking relatively spread out here. 2 receivers to the left, 2 on the right. Running back in the backfield. It's like a cover 1 look from Kirkwood. Looks like there was some movement on that line. No flag. It's going to be a handoff here, and that one is sniffed out before it could really get anywhere. It'll be a gain of maybe 1.
We saw last week Kirkwood was able to deal with McClure's quarterback-heavy offense pretty well. Doesn't seem like Hazelwood West is wanting to favor their quarterback. Our website that we get our rosters from is saying that their quarterback's a freshman, so we'll see if they're trying to protect him from the big bodies of Kirkwood's senior defensive line.
It's a 2nd down and 9 here. Same formation. Snap, handoff once again, this time on the other side, and he is chased down and tackled by number 8.
Tyler Macon. Correction on that last play, that was number 8, Delvon Adams with the tackle.
Similar look here. So 3rd down and 12. Snap, rolls to his right, looking, throws, caught in the flat, and that play is blown up immediately. It'll go for no gain, maybe a loss, and it's 4th down.
Number 14, Rick Williams with the tackle there. He's gotten some good looks on the outside as a defensive back, and he's making his name known.
Strong outing from Kirkwood's defense so far. They've approached most of this year with a bend but don't break mentality, but they haven't even bent so far.
Strange formation here again.
Punt team out, or rather, check that. Oh wait, yes, never mind. That ball goes straight up. That won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage, and it bounces and hits the back of a Kirkwood player. That ball is in play. It may or may not have been recovered by the Pioneers. We'll see what the ref indicates. That was a strange play.
If I'm Jeremy Macklin, I'm going to be yelling at my team about that. There was complete lack of awareness on Kirkwood's part, and that almost ended up in Hazelwood West's lap.
Another weird special teams play. I know it's high school football, but that has been a consistent theme this year. That ball went straight up in the air like a rocket, landed, bounced, hit the back of a Kirkwood special teams player, and was completely loose for anyone to get. There was a dog pile, but Kirkwood's offense was able to recover.
It hit the back of number 11, Cameron Richardson, who was up higher in the field than one would expect. He was in the defensive line position. Hazelwood West had 4 allotted blockers on the outside for Kirkwood's brush, and maybe that contributed to the punter's nervousness.
Wise drops back to pass. He is pressured once again, and he is brought down in the backfield. That will be a loss of a ton. Nobody was open. He tried to escape and was wrapped up quickly.
Loss of about 13 for Kirkwood. That's going to hurt.
Not an ideal way to start the drive. I was thinking they were going to run it on 1st down, but they choose to pass, and they pay for it. This offensive line is, quite frankly, getting exposed at the start of this game.
It doesn't look like they've gone to their second stringers, so they've got no one to blame but themselves here.
Snap, handoff to Brown. He's got some space. He cuts up the middle, and he is brought down, but not after a substantial gain. Make up most of that yardage they lost on the previous play.
Brown again weaving himself through. He's like a needle on thread here. Gets through 2 defensemen, makes himself pretty skinny, and then gets brought down only just barely at the end there.
That was a 2nd and 22. It is now only a 3rd down and 10 after the gain of 12. And there's a flag here.
Looks like movement from the Wildcats. We'll see here what they say.
And that will be an encroachment penalty, and Kirkwood will move 5 yards closer. That's got to be real frustrating if you're Hazelwood West coach. You're facing a 2nd and 22. You get a big sack, and now it is 3rd down and 5 for the Pioneers. Extremely manageable compared to where they started.
Macklin's going to be aggressive with his play calling here, and I think Kirkwood's got the offensive weapons to do it.
Certainly you're in an area where you would probably go for it. Got 2 downs to pick up 5 yards here. Two men, send to the right. Snap to Wise. Hand off to Brown, and he's got some room. He's made it past the first down, and maybe he'll get a little bit more. He is wrestled down at the 20-yard line.
Kirkwood offense heavily favoring Brown so far, but he seems to have figured out the puzzle of this Hazelwood West defense. He's looking incredibly strong in his play-moving abilities.
That offensive line, big question coming into this week. They looked fairly strong at the start of the year, but after they were left in all game last game to block for the third stringers, they just did not perform as well as, Coach Macklin and Kirkwood fans would have liked. We'll see what they can do this game. Jelvik sent into block. Snap. Wise rolling to his left. He's going to look for his receiver. That one is caught past the first down, and he's going to dive forward for a little bit more. That is number 17, Larry Robinson, and it'll be a first down and goal.
Yeah, I don't mean to be critical of Coach Macklin here, but not swapping out the linemen was, I think, a critical error. You're going to have a bunch of tired bodies in for blocking for a bunch of guys who are fresh, and I think that's going to be a real dichotomy for these boys tonight.
First down and goal here. Handoff. Dion Brown cuts him forward, and he's going to score! Hurtling into the end zone, and it is his second touchdown of the game. 13-0 Pioneers pending the extra point.
Kirkwood, again, making space for their star running back in number 3, Dion Brown, and he found the hole again. He keeps finding these holes in this Hazelwood West defense. And you hope that Hazelwood West comes up with a solution for it, but it looks like Kirkwood's got some big points early.
Extra point pending here. Snap's good, holds good, kick is good. 14-0 Pioneers here with 1:12 remaining in the first.
Kruger has looked strong so far in his kicking career. He's only played a couple of games for the Pioneers so far, but he's didn't miss a single extra point last game, and so far is 100% this game as well.
Mr. Chadleg, as me and no one else is calling him.
It's certainly interesting that you call him that.
Kicker nicknames are the best nicknames.
I won't disagree with you, but I feel like there's better things you can do with miles.
Miles per hour just kicked an extra point.
Okay, maybe not that one. Let's try another one.
We'll think on it. We'll circle back at the end of the game, folks. Kickoff pending here.
The band going crazy.
They certainly are. This ball is up. Lost in the lights a little bit. This one will be fielded at the 1, and no, it's fumbled, and he's going to be forced to return it here. He has absolutely nowhere to go, and he is brought down inside the 10. That was a nearly perfect kick from Miles Kruger. Came in exactly at the 1-yard line. They were forced to return it, and they get nowhere.
Yeah, the boys are going to get some candy for that one from their special teams coach. That was a great look from Miles Kruger and exceptionally good attack on the returner.
Kirkwood's defense looks strong so far. We'll see what they do here. For a touchdown to be scored, they would have to surrender over 90 yards. Doesn't seem too likely, but we'll see what happens here. Hazelwood West might be looking for the big play. 1:05 remaining in the first quarter.
Conventional formation from the Wildcats.
Handoff up the middle, and it doesn't go anywhere. It'll be a second down and 10. Hazelwood has not been able to get anything going on the inside here.
Hazelwood's been favoring their run game pretty heavily right now. It's going to be a question of whether or not that run game develops into anything exceptional. The defensive line looks pretty tough so far.
Second down and 10 here. Hazelwood West once again in the gun. Snap, handoff, up the middle. No, he tries to break outside, and that still won't go anywhere. It'll be a third down and 10. 0 yards gained on 2 plays.
No, it looked like he got about 2 yards on that one.
They'll call it 1.
Obviously, this run game is not working very well for Hazelwood West. We were talking about bald offensive coordinators last week, and if you're Hazelwood West offensive coordinator, you're ripping your hair out right now.
That will be the end of the first quarter. They will switch sides, have to walk a good long way here. The score is 14-0 Pioneers with 3 quarters of football remaining.
Kirkwood looking good so far in the first quarter, up 14-0. We were talking last game about the running clock rule that Misha has, and we hit it last game, but 35-point deficit in the second half, and the clock will run indefinitely until that deficit is either breached or the game's over. And Kirkwood might be hopefully not trying to get that far, as you want to save every moment for the seniors, but Kirkwood's certainly on that path right now.
Might be a possibility. That made the second half of last game go much quicker. Looks like there was some movement. The ref will throw some laundry on the field.
That'll be on Kirkwood. Number 8, Delvon Adams, jumped really high into the air. I'm not sure why.
Handoff here. Slicing and dicing up for a few yards, but he is going to be tackled at the 20. 4th down and 1 here. They'll be going for it on 4th down here. 4th down and 1, but they are at their own 20. Certainly high risk, high reward here. Looks like there was some movement.
That's going to be on Hazelwood West.
Ooh, that certainly changes the situation. Instead of a 4th and 1 from your own 20, it is now a 4th and 6 from your own 15.
Yeah, they're going to send out the punt team.
They're sending out the punt unit.
You're hoping that they don't kick it straight up in the air again, because that would give Kirkwood incredible field position to just toss the ball to Deion Brown and have him find the holes in that Hazelwood West defense again.
Sometimes you go for it on 4th and 1 just to try to draw the other team off sides. Rarely do you yourself accidentally jump off and force yourself to move back.
They say that you can't be a driver if you confuse your lefts and rights, and you certainly can't be a football commentator if you confuse your offense and defense. I apologize to all of you. I'm fumbling my words tonight.
Punt's going to be up. That is a far more of a line drive than we saw earlier. It's going to go way past the return man and bounce all the way to the, not even the 20, at the 15. That's going to be a massive swing right there. Kirkwood had their return man only 30 yards out, expecting it to be a short punt, and this one was blasted across the entire field.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they put him up they put him really, really, really up there. Obviously expecting another straight up in the air kick, but the punter managed to get it away, and it was a line drive.
Sends a man in motion. Snap to Wise. He's going to throw. That ball is tipped at the line, and that will be incomplete. Looking for the screen pass, but it went nowhere.
Kirkwood on their passing game. Not favoring the run game like we'd be expecting. Oh, there's the handoff.
Some good blocking, and Brown is still going. It's going to be a first down and more. He's now to the 30-yard line. A very impressive run to the outside there.
How do you think that this game changes, given that Dion looks to be generating good offense? Do you think that they're going to be favoring that passing game like they were against McClure? Or do you think that this game becomes more of a battle of the lines as we start to see the ball handed off to the runners more?
Well, as you say that, Dion Brown is now coming to the sideline. A human being can only run so many yards, so they can't give it to him every single play like it's a video game. But I still think they'll stick to him as their primary option. As they change up formation a little bit, they've got everyone but one on the line. It'll be a pitch play here. Streaking up the middle, and he's got some space to run. He's got a stiff arm. He's at the 40, and he is brought down at the 45. An excellent play there by number 23.
Number 23, Kylan Wallace, didn't get in last game, but is in from the JV team, and he's making himself known with a huge gain there.
Dion Brown on the sideline, presumably for some rest on that play, and now he is back in. Timeout taken by Hazelwood West. Certainly Hazelwood West here taking that timeout, try to get everything together. Kirkwood's run blocking has been incredible this game. You got to think they just give their players not only a time to rest, but also think of some way to try to stop this Kirkwood rushing attack.
Kirkwood's rush game has looked incredibly strong in this game so far, and Hazelwood West obviously needs to come up with a solution for that. They've been able to stop the passing game. Kirkwood wasn't able to generate much offense from their passing game so far this game, but they heavily favored it against a weaker defensive line in McClure last week. So it's just interesting play calling from Kirkwood so far.
.10:28 here remaining in the second quarter. Hand off to Brown once again. He's going to change directions, come up the middle, and he's got a burst of speed. And he's at the 30. He is at the 20. He is at the 10. He has scored! There has been an incident at KHS. A student named Dion Brown has murdered Hazelwood West's defense.
21 points generated solely by Dion Brown so far this game. 3 touchdowns. He is a one-man army for Kirkwood's offense.
Call it 18. We can't forget the extra points.
Sorry, I need to give Miles Kruger his credit. 18 points for Dion Brown so far this game. He is an unstoppable machine.
Extra point now pending here. It is up. And it is good. It will be 21-0 for the Kirkwood Pioneers here with 10:18 remaining in the second quarter. Pioneers are kicking off here. That kick is up. And it is fielded a little bit shorter than last time. That'll be at the 15. Runs into his own blocker. Tries to cut up field, and he does somewhat successfully, but he is brought down at the 20-yard line. It'll be the 25-yard line. It'll be the same as a touchback.
All his effort for a couple extra yards, but it'll give Hazelwood West good field position here. Better field position than they've had on any drive so far. However, they haven't been able to make it past the 50-yard line so far this half. And if you're their offensive coordinator, you're looking to favor that passing game because Kirkwood has stifled their run game so far.
The offense and the defense both set. One's down. Handoff up the middle here, runs into his own blocker and cuts back up a little bit, but he will be brought down after just a yard or two.
Good defensive play by the Pioneers. Reacted well to the run game again. They're reacting well so far. They're just not generating any offense, Hazel West. And
they need to try something different because right now they are just running into a brick wall repeatedly and hoping that it eventually breaks, but I don't think that's going to be the case here.
Yeah, when you're a running back and you're getting stifled by your own blockers, that's obviously really frustrating. I'm hoping they're going to move to the pass game here soon.
You'd have to at some point. 21-point deficit for Hazelwood West. Snap, handoff. It's going to cut up and is once again brought down after only a couple yards. They have to be averaging less than 2 yards per carry.
Yeah, this is the second time number 8's gotten shot blocked. And you have to be wondering, when does he come out? When you're switching your running backs around? Do you put a receiver in and hope that you can just huck the ball? Because so far when they've passed, they've gotten yards.
They've tried some screens, but have we seen them attempt a downfield pass yet? I don't believe so.
No, I would say that they have gone...
Yeah, screens and runs really is the name of the game here for Hazelwood West.
You have to have a good offensive line for that, though, and so far they've been torn to shreds by Kirkwood's defense.
Certainly. Snap, it'll be a handoff once again, and he goes nowhere. He is brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be a 4th down.
Jackson Kagan with the stop.
The band for Kirkwood High School intimidating Hazelwood West here with some Imperial March action.
I love a good Star Wars theme, especially when...
Played by a high school band, yes.
Yes, and mildly out of tune.
Snap here, he's going to step back. Oh, and he's going to run with it. It's a fake. He's going to get the 1st down. Some deception on that play, and it works. I mean, that's how you get some momentum going. A little deception, reach into the playbook, and he's going to get past the 1st down.
Yeah, that's Hazelwood West's first big run gain of the game, and that's, I think, only their second 1st down so far.
Only second 1st down.
That's huge for that sideline there. You see them all perk up. And hope that this gives them a little bit of momentum here. Obviously not to root against Kirkwood, but we want football.
Certainly. Now we'll see that big opportunity, big break for Hazelwood. They've got about 60 yards to go. Oh, there's going to be a penalty, actually. Check that. It's going to be 40 yards to go. So hopefully, at least if you're Hazelwood's coach or you're a Hazelwood fan, that opportunity isn't completely wasted and they're able to put some points on the board. Snap, rolls to the left, launches this one deep down the field that is over the head of the receiver, but there will be a flag thrown for PI. There was some contact there, but I'm not sure that ball was catchable. It seemed like it was too much of an overthrow. But anyways, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. A backbreaker for Kirkwood just 2 plays ago. It was a 4th and long, and it seemed like their offense was going to get the ball back, and now Hazelwood West is knocking on the door of the red zone.
Kirkwood, again, taking penalties when it really counts. We saw this trend last game against McClure. They gave up almost 80 yards in penalties. And that's just an unacceptable statistic for Coach Jeremy Macklin.
Be a first down and 10 from the 29-yard line for Hazelwood West. There's 7:41 remaining in the second quarter.
Play clock. Slow to the snap here.
Snap. It's going to be fake handoff. And, oh, he bobbled it a little bit and was brought down with the swim move.
Number 32, Tafari Staples with a huge sack.
There is a flag on the field. See what they indicate. I didn't see that come out immediately.
Face mask.
Ooh. That will be against Kirkwood. Another penalty, as we've just been discussing.
This is absolutely terrible for the Pioneers. It's going to be a first down, and the Hazelwood West Wildcats are in the red zone.
Obviously, no disrespect to the Hazelwood West Wildcats, but when you know, on paper, the Pioneers are a significantly better football team. You know, Hazelwood West is 0-8, and the way you can even the playing field is by taking penalties that you don't need to take. And now, only a 3-score lead. It's not impossible to come back from, and Hazelwood West is knocking on the door. Snap here, take handoff. He's going to be brought down once again, and this time I don't see any flags. It'll be a huge sack for Kirkwood.
Number 23, Kylan Wallace on the field. He got some playing time last game against McClure North as they cycled the JV guys up, and it looks like he's a permanent presence now. He's trying to make himself known, and he got a big sack for Kirkwood.
3rd and 11, 7:06 remaining in the second quarter. Be a timeout for Hazelwood West. Their second of the half. They have 1 remaining.
So far. Oh. Sorry, we were muted. We were just saying that Hazelwood West is taking their second time out of the half. Kirkwood's going to get a much-needed break here. Their defensive line and defensive backs have been working pretty hard. Unfortunately, a lot of that's been set back by penalties, specifically a face mask that was taken pretty recently, I believe, on the last play.
If I'm the coach for the Pioneers, the message is simple. Hey, you guys are playing well. You see what happens when you don't take penalties. You deck them in the backfield. Just try to keep a clean game, try to keep rolling, and you'll be successful on this next drive here.
Kirkwood's defensive presence obviously making itself known here. A couple of JV players have come up from that last game against McClure North, and they look like a good presence. Tafari Staples and Kylan Wallace of note. Look to see them rush the passer here.
3rd down and 11. Hazelwood West trying to convert. Drops back to pass, throws the screen and is in and out of the hands of the receiver, and it'll be a 4th down and 11. You think if they go for it here, it looks like they're considering it. This is the best field position they've had all game. And considering they tried to go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 20, I feel like it's pretty likely.
I think they're doing it. So I said to look out for Tafari Staples and Kylan Wallace on the rush, and Tafari Staples got to the passer, put the pressure on, and had to just huck it away. And Kirkwood is going to force them to go for it on 4th.
There will be a penalty.
Against Hazelwood West.
It'll be for a false start. The same situation we saw last drive. They tried to go for it on 4th down, and they had a false start penalty before they could get the playoff, and now they're going to be stepping back, and the special teams is going to come onto the field. That is an almost identical scenario that we just saw. They're really shooting themselves in the foot here.
Are they kicking it? I think they're kicking a field goal here, right? No, they're punting.
Yeah, a little too far for a high school field goal. That would be almost 50 yards.
I think Jed can make it.
high sky punt here would give Kirkwood nightmares field position. Oh no, it's going to be a fake punt once again, but this time the Pioneers were ready for it, and they don't even get a yard. It's a turnover on downs. You know, the thing with a fake punt is that you catch people off guard, and so you're able to gain more yards. But the Pioneers were very ready for that, and at this point, it'd be better just to keep the offense on the field. You'd have a better shot at picking up those 11 yards you needed, or 16 rather.
Instead of favoring the rush, they sent 2 men to the outside, so they were definitely ready for the play, and that gave Hazelwood West no solution except to run up the middle, and they ran right into a brick wall.
Kirkwood, or the most successful play for Hazelwood West, was on a fake punt, and they did that well in their own territory, so the Pioneers were extremely ready for them to do it on their own on the Pioneers 40. Kirkwood's offense back on the field anyhow.
It's noticing those little trends like that give Kirkwood the edge here.
Fighting for more yards, and he's got some space to go. He's at the 40, he's at the 35, he's at the 30, he's at the 25, 20, 15, he's at the 10, and he is brought down after a massive run.
Number 21, Tyson Sanders with the carry, and looks slow to get up here. Oh, he's hurt.
Came down awkwardly there. You hate to see that. There will be an injury timeout, and we will step aside for a second.
Still on injury timeout here. Looks like it'll be a couple minutes.
We will return to action when this is concluded. We are back, being carted off the field here. Obviously, don't want to speculate. We just hope that everybody involved is okay. Player does appear to be conscious and sitting upright, and that is all we can really say at this time as we get back to football. It'll be a first down.
Number 21, Tyson Sanders, with a huge carry on that last play, and he's the one injured. Obviously, you hate to see that, but Kirkwood's going to be starting from the 10-yard line, and that's big carry.
Worst part of football, we just hope everybody involved is all right. Now, Kirkwood's offense will trot back onto the field after a couple minutes of timeout.
Obviously,
6:15 remaining in the second.
Obviously, injuries like that can motivate a football team. We're hoping that his loss isn't too much of a loss of a presence for Kirkwood, and they can generate some offense.
Sends a man in motion. Snap. Wise is going to launch this one to the end zone, and it is just over the head of receiver number 17, Larry Robinson. It'll be a second down now. On the little corner route there was nobody there, and just went a little bit over the head of Robinson.
Robinson had broken away from his man, was on the move, but Creighton Wise obviously unable to calculate that and wasn't able to put the ball right where he wanted to.
Certainly on that play, better to overthrow and have an incompletion than underthrow and have an interception, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, completely agree.
He's going to throw again. Same play. This time it wasn't over, but it was more to the side of Larry Robinson. It'll be incompletion. It'll be a third down now. We'll see if they run that same play a third time. I think that unlikely.
You wonder if that's a miscommunication. Robinson moved to the opposite side that Wise threw to. So you think about maybe in Robinson's head, he was moving to the other side, but it looks like they're gonna try to run the ball.
They do here. Snap to Wise. Handoff. Fakes throw. Running. Going to the outside, and he will fall into the end zone for a Kirkwood Pioneers touchdown.
Number 23, Kylan Wallace, that JV player, up again.
Let's
and
go.
That's a big touchdown.
It'll
for
be
him.
27-0 for the Pioneers. Once again, pending the extra point. Huge play on third down.
Wallace looked really strong in that play, strong on his feet, put the shoulder in, and he broke himself through the plane. Got a big touchdown for Kirkwood here. That's another momentum booster.
Extra point. Set. Good snap, good hold, and ooh, that kick is under the bar. It'll be no good. Automatic Miles couldn't quite get it up there, so it will remain 27-0 for the Pioneers.
That's his first missed extra point so far of the year. Obviously, hate to see that, but such is life.
Doesn't take away the touchdown, however, a very impressive run, and the Pioneers looked ahead into halftime with a 4-score lead. There's still 5:46 remaining.
Let's talk about that, though. Deion Brown was not on the field for a run play. The option to give it to Kylan Wallace, who's a little bigger in stature, and he managed to put his shoulder down and break through the defensive line. We'll see, obviously, with Deion Brown, he's going to be gone next year. We'll see next year if Kylan Wallace becomes the go-to man for those run plays.
Yes, both different players, but obviously still both good. Senior night, huge thing for seniors, but also it's the last regular season game. You think you try to get some reps in for people who really haven't, and for Coach Mack, and see what cards are on the table for him next year.
I'm going to correct Owen there. We still have the Turkey Day games, but Kirkwood
That's even more of a senior night than even senior night. The kick is up.
That's a bomb.
And that one will bounce just at the goal line. They'll be forced to return it again. Almost a perfect kick. And he will just harmlessly run out here at the 14.
Huge kick from Miles Kruger. He put it right at the goal line, which is really impressive with some backspin. Almost like a tennis player. He was able to put the ball exactly where he wanted to, and it rolled right into a really advantageous position for Kirkwood. And they will start 10 yards back from a touchback.
Some excellent kickoffs for the Pioneers this game.
Indeed, that's something that we don't usually talk about, but in high school, if you see something that's exemplary, you obviously have to talk about it. And Miles Kruger's got a huge leg on those place kicks.
There aren't too many high school kickers that can consistently touch back it. Kruger can do that, and when he doesn't, he places them real close to the goal line, which is an ideal range. Hazelwood West offense back on the field once again. Last drive, they tried a fake punt, and it did not go anywhere. Interesting. But, and that ball is fumbled immediately on the snap. Quarterback will fall on it, but it will be a big loss. He was looking at his receivers, looking at the line, looking where he was going to run to, and he wasn't focused on catching the football, and it fell right out of his hands and onto the ground.
Hazelwood West is looking to generate some offense. We were talking about this last drive about how they're probably going to be favoring hopefully their pass game, because their run game has not been able to generate anything in terms of offense so far. And with only 5 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock, you have to be going for it here. They've only got 10 seconds left on the play clock too, and they're just getting to the line.
Run or pass, neither of those can work though if you can't get the ball in your hands. We'll see if we have a successful snap here.
Delay of game.
It'll be delay game call. They'll push him back even further.
It's their third time out of the game.
They took the timeout to avoid the penalty with 1 second left on the play clock. They are out of timeouts for this half.
If you're Kirkwood in the offensive, or not offensive line, if you're Kirkwood in the defensive line here, you're going to want to take advantage of Hazelwood kind of tightening up their legs there, not staying loose. That's a strategic error on the huddle's part, not being able to get to the line in time. And it's forcing Hazelwood to take a timeout when you could have been taking it in the last 2 minutes and saving yourself a huge amount of time. But Kirkwood's going to get the advantages here. I believe they still have all 3 of their timeouts as well.
They do. Ball here. Snap. And he is almost brought down, but he's able to get around a few tacklers and move up slightly past the line.
Kirkwood with the chop block there again, taking out the runner by the knees. Good tackle for him.
3rd down and 11.
Kirkwood's defensive rush has looked really strong so far in this drive, and they're forcing Hazelwood back. They're back again for another long huddle, and we see if they take a... Oh, no, Kirkwood's going to take their time out here.
First of the half. We are back here. Handoff up the middle, fights for some space.
Big flag going to be holding on Hazelwood West.
They can't move back too much farther than they are right now. You'll see if Kirkwood just declines it. They can't even enforce a full 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, they're declining it. Macklin's waving his hands.
Even with a big hold, they aren't able to get really any yardage out of that. And it's 3rd and 11.
Interesting. I mean, you could get half the distance to the goal line and put yourself in the... Oh.
Check that 4th and 11.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough play for the Wildcats here. This punt is crucial. If he sends it straight up in the air, Kirkwood's going to be in great field position for another Deion Brown touchdown.
About you, but I cannot imagine they try a 3rd consecutive fake punt.
I think it might happen. I believe
they
in
are
miracles.
Backed up against the wall here.
You never know.
I mean, you never know. I didn't think they were going to do it last time, and they did. We'll see what happens. Snap, and he will choose to punt it. It's a line drive. that bounces into the hands of the. Oh, he is brought down. He is drilled there, but he's able to hold on to the football. Great ball security.
Yeah, number 2, Bruce Malone. He held on for dear life, and he's going to start the Pioneers at the K 52-yard line.
Wise drops back to pass. Darts this one in the middle of the field, and that's a sliding catch. The ball was behind him. He slid in like he was going into first base and was able to haul in the pass.
Number 10, Chris Potter with a huge haul in right there.
You think if Wise hit him in stride, that one could have gone to the house. A little bit behind him, he was able to haul in and make the catch.
Yeah, it was a really nice catch there. Obviously, Kirkwood is looking to move down the field pretty fast here. They've only got 3 minutes left in this half. And looks like they're driving.
It's 3:27 remaining in the second quarter. Snap to Wise. Handoff. And that one's going to go into a sea of defenders. It'll be a gain of a few.
Actually going to be a loss of 2, it looks like.
Actually, it's a gain of 2 yards.
The game a gain of 2 yards for forward motion. That's very good. He was still fighting all the way down to the whistle. Number 23, Kylan Wallace. This is a heavy sophomore and junior prep. Oh, wow.
We have the confetti toss officially in the student section. Like little snowflakes, they're going to be directly floating around this game for probably the duration of the contest. Blowing down wind there.
Number 17, Larry Robinson with a first down while we were pointing at the student section there.
Very sudden. Of course, the famous powder toss, no longer a thing. They have now switched to confetti for various purposes.
Specifically, the band kids complained that it ruined their instrument.
Wise. He's able to escape, and he's going to leave the pocket here, and he's going to run and
for a
get.
Touchdown.
Oh, no, they're calling him out. Looks like he stepped out still, though.
He was really close.
He
to
was
that goal
Houdini.
line.
Not only did he escape the pocket, but he was able to turn upfield and gain a good chunk of yards there and put him near the 1 yard line.
If we were collegiate football, we would have been reviewing that play because he was really close to that goal line.
Like you're saying, he stepped out at the 4. Interesting to see what they do in the red zone here. Snap, it's going to be a pass, and this ball is caught. That ball is hauled in. He tossed the 50-50 ball, and Larry Robbins said, nope, 100-0. He hauled it in for a touchdown.
Huge catch for number 17, Larry Robinson. He's looked super strong in this game, and he's been targeted on that left side a lot by number 7,
yes.
Creighton Wise. Interesting piece of information. Omar Hopkins was driving the run game in for the first drive of this game, and so far Creighton Wise has been in for every play except that. You have to wonder if Omar Hopkins is the number 2 guy now.
It's the third time Larry Robinson has been targeted in that left corner of the end zone. They will go for 2 here to try to even up that score again. Hand off, and he is short. It looks like maybe he got the ball over. I don't think so. And it'll be 33-0 for the Pioneers. You don't want to get caught in that 2-point conversion trap where you keep going for it to try to keep even the score up, and then eventually you're down by way more than you think. Kirkwood Pioneers set to kick off. After that touchdown drive and a failed 2-point conversion, they have a 33-0 lead with 2:29 remaining in the first half. Kruger kicks that ball downfield. It's not going to be enough for a touchback. It'll bounce at the 20 and is caught. Looking for some space upfield. He doesn't have any, and he will be brought down at the 19-yard line. With little under 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half, and Hazelwood West's offense still scoring 0 points in this game, you got to be thinking that they want to at least get some kind of momentum going at halftime, some kind of points on the board, something to hang their hat on. Because if not, they're going to be entering the locker room at halftime with absolutely no momentum.
If Kirkwood manages to score again before the half is over, they're going to be above that 35-point threshold, and we're going to have this game over in a ridiculously short amount of time.
That handoff there went for nothing, and that could be why they went for 2 there.
It's possible. You also want to be making up that missed extra point from Miles Kruger earlier. It's a risk-reward play, and I don't blame him for going for it, especially with such a huge padded lead so far.
We still see small little strays of confetti fluttering throughout the air. The student section did the confetti toss just moments ago.
Kirkwood calling their second timeout of the half. If you were planning on leaving for halftime, that's all right, but make sure you stick around. If you're interested, we've got some senior interviews coming up that we are going to play. It'll be our technological advancements coming from the KHTV Kirkwood Call Collaborative broadcast. And during this timeout, we'll remind you who we are. I'm Mason Heller with the color commentary. Alongside me is Owen Backer with the play-by-play.
Hello there.
And our cameraman, Quinn Sells from KHTV. We have to thank him so much for helping us out here. He's really enhanced the quality of this broadcast, and we appreciate his help.
He really has to, enhance the quality, because I know you and me certainly haven't at all, so thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, we are just two idiots talking in a football booth. I'm sure most of you have us muted right now, but we try our best.
For those of you who haven't, let's go. It's football time, baby.
Kirkwood already back on the field. They seem anxious to pummel this Hazelwood West offense into submission.
It is a second down and 13 already for Hazelwood West offense. They have, if you don't count those, the fake punt, Hazelwood West offense has gone for negative yards way more than they have positive yards. That is a vast majority of their plays, at least 80%.
I gotta say, I do really love how the Kirkwood field looks from the 20-yard line back.
Yes. That will go for 1.
I don't even think they're going to give them 1 for that.
Another timeout for Kirkwood. They are trying to get the ball back and put up more points before halftime. They are just continuously hammering this Hazelwood West offensive line and run game.
It's honestly impressive how Kirkwood's managed to sustain their pressure so far this game. Big credit to the defensive coordinator. He's read this Hazelwood West offense pretty well, and they've favored their run game substantially. You have to wonder if that's a question about their depth on offense. They don't really have the receivers, I guess, to create a good receiving game, especially for making up for such a weak run game so far this game.
This Hazelwood West offense has seemed incredibly one-dimensional, at least to us, and I know it's probably seemed like that on film. They've watched the film, and the Kirkwood Pioneers are ready.
I'd like to argue that their one dimension has been the fake punt so far.
There you go.
I will give them credit. That fake punt was impressive.
2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the half. It is 3rd down and 13 for Hazelwood West. 9 seconds left on the play clock. Send a man in motion. It will be a pass. The throw is intercepted, and it is that is going to be a pick 6 touchdown. The exact opposite of what any Hazelwood fan would want to happen. That is not a worst case scenario.
Number 15, Patrick Fortune with the pick. And Kirkwood's going to go up 39-0, and that's going to start the running clock play in the second half.
Their first real non-screen down the field pass play of the game for Hazelwood West, and that one went right into the hands of the defender. All Patrick Fortune had to do was stick his hands up and run 20 yards into the end zone. He was untouched, and that is a touchdown. Good snap, good hold, and that kick is good after missing one earlier in the game. It is 40-0 for the Pioneers with still 2 minutes and 1 second remaining in the second quarter.
Kirkwood could get another touchdown here, and that's saying just a little. Kirkwood has swapped up their linemen, and Kirkwood call favorite Wyatt Byers is in the game. We have to give him a shout out since he writes for us. Kirkwood's got their JV players in, which is certainly interesting, especially on senior night. They've got a lot of sophomores in. We'll see if those seniors come into play in the second half. We're rooting for a Sean Bricker play tonight. We'll see if we get any.
Yes. Now, obviously, this is not the last game of the season for Kirkwood Pioneers. A win tonight. They've already clinched a playoff spot. A win tonight clinches them a home playoff spot. And if they win that game, then obviously they will continue on throughout the playoff bracket. So, Macklin as well as the Kirkwood players really have their eyes set on making sure everybody's good to go for next week, hopefully. You don't want to put too much on film, and you don't want to get anybody injured. So it is in their best interest to get this game over as quick as possible.
Huge bomb from Miles Kruger. Wow.
That ball is muffed. 15-yard line. He's able to run forward and start. They'll start about the 16.
Miles Kruger has looked really impressive on these kickoffs. It's high school, but he's got a really good leg, a very promising place kicker.
Every single, at least almost every single Hazelwood West drive has started from between that, 15 to 20-yard range. That's really where the Kirkwood Pioneers have continued to pin them down, made their job for their defense pretty easy.
I think that they're going to go for a pass here, but obviously that last time they tried to pass, it bit them right back, and Kirkwood has brought the score up to 40-0 so far. There's a minute and 55 seconds left in this quarter, and the running clock roll is going to start in the second half unless by some miracle Hazelwood West manages to score here in this last 2 minutes. So you've got 2 minutes to drive 84 yards downfield, which isn't it's significant distance, but there have been faster drives.
They haven't been too good at picking up, chunk yardage and slowly moving down the field. They're going to have to
Maybe they
get
should
a
fake
big
punt.
score here.
They should fake punt on first down.
Fake punt on first down. Snap there, handoff up the middle, and he will fall forward for maybe a yard. Looks like they're trying to just get out of this half. Kirkwood is without timeouts.
Kirkwood with confetti all over the field. Wow.
Yeah, that sideline does have some confetti scattered on it from the student section. That stuff the whole field was really downwind of that, and it just immediately blizzarded onto the field. Shouldn't affect the actual gameplay, however. Hazelwood West scrambles to the line. Crowd with some chance here, request to put in certain players that they would like to see. Obviously, there's a few fan favorites that everybody wants in. Be a penalty. Second down and 9.
Yeah.
Handoff up the middle. It's a dive play, and he will fall backwards. He is wrestled down. That'll be a loss.
Kirkwood is wrapping up this run game. They've got a minute left here now in the quarter. I don't think Kirkwood's going to get a chance.
There should be about one more play, probably be a handoff up the middle, go for naught, and then we will walk into halftime.
Hazelwood might. Stick around for the halftime show, by the way. We've got some senior interviews that I think that you all will be interested in, and it's the first time we're going to have recorded interviews played on the broadcast. I think you all will marvel at the high school level of journalism that we can provide you.
5 seconds left on the play clock here. Handoff up the middle.
Oh, backer, you must be clairvoyant. Handoff right up the middle.
Yes, handoff right up the middle, and it will once again go for nothing. It is 4th down. The clock will run out here as both teams will head into the locker room for halftime. It is 40 for your Kirkwood Pioneers and 0 for Hazelwood West. Not too many adjustments you can make to stop that. The running clock will be in place for halftime, and we will go off temporarily.
At halftime, we'll take a moment to recognize KHS Friendship Court for the upcoming homecoming dance. The girl nominees: Addie Campbell, Genesis Dixon, Ellie Francois, Maddie Hickman, Sim Kanuja, Sydney Shields, Marilyn Stubbe, and Sarah Tilley. For the men: Drew Bagas, Isaac Bendarski, Dion Brown, number 3, obviously playing for Kirkwood football, Tate Drexler, Andrew Hubner, Luke Kraft, Tyler Vincent, and Gabe Walker. Congratulations to all of them.
Well, like just default, right? Like, what? Here, let me go on.
Wait, USB digital audio. That might be it. Hold on.
coming to you now from the end of the halftime show. The Pioneers will be taking the field for warm-ups in about 5 minutes, and we should hope to see some football action incoming soon. If you're nearby your computer and you're hearing this, grab a drink, grab a snack, and sit down because we've got 24 minutes left of football. We're going to have a running clock, though, so it should be going by fast. Kirkwood's going to hope to generate some offense, and we'll see if we get some senior plays in. Hopefully, Sean Brecker takes the field.
Can you, would you say that you are very excited for senior night?
Yeah, I'm really excited. A lot of my friends play, so it's kind of big for us, and yeah.
And then can you talk a little bit about your experience with Pep Nation this year and everything?
Yeah, so this is my second year in Pep Nation, and this year I'm kind of like in charge of the student section with a few other people. And so tonight we're doing a confetti toss. Yeah, we bought 30 pounds of confetti. We're doing a t-shirt sale. We tried to get a lot of people to come to the game since it's senior night tonight. And yeah.
And who's going to win tonight?
Kirkwood.
Go. Are you excited for senior night?
Very much. It's bittersweet.
And then can you talk a bit about your experience with the Pommies?
I don't know if I can encapsulate in words what Poms means to me. It's like,
Can you, would you say that you are very excited for senior night?
yeah, I'm really excited. A lot of my friends play, so it's kind of big for us, and yeah.
And then can you talk a little bit about your experience with Pep Nation this year and everything?
Yeah, so this is my second year in Pep Nation, and this year I'm kind of like in charge of the student section with a few other people. And so tonight we're doing a confetti toss. Yeah, we bought 30 pounds of confetti. We're doing a t-shirt sale. We tried to like get a lot of people to come to the game since it's senior night tonight. And yeah.
And who's going to win tonight?
Kirkwood.
Go. Are you excited for senior night?
Very much. It's bittersweet.
And then can you talk a bit about your experience with the Pommies?
I don't know if I can encapsulate in words what Poms means to me. It's like, I don't know, 25 friends. And they're all such lovely and genuine and sweet people, and we push ourselves together. And I don't know, there aren't words to describe high school sports sometimes, you know what I mean?
And then who's going to win tonight?
Us, according to Laura Benzinger's dad, who is a football coach. So, not that I know anything about football.
Go. First off, are you excited for senior night?
Yeah, I am. I'm really excited. We got all of our posters and all of our gifts, so it's really fun.
And then can you talk a little bit about your experience with the cheerleaders?
Yeah, so I'm actually the only person who's been on the cheer team for all 4 years. So I've been on it since I was a freshman, and it's been really fun just over the years, like having like all friends in different grades and like watching them graduate, and now having friends that are underclassmen that I'm gonna leave, which is kind of sad, but it's been great.
And then who's gonna win tonight?
Kirkwood.
Go. With it being senior night, can you just talk about the emotions that you're feeling right now?
I'm pretty sure they're high. This is also, something that kind of really doesn't really kick in until kind of after it's done. You kind of sit back and you reflect on kind of really for some of these guys a 4-year journey. So I'm just here to support, man, and hopefully we go out here and take care of business.
And then, do you remember anything from when you had your senior night?
Yeah. It's a special night. I was able to come out here with, my mom and also the family that kind of took me in and, kind of share that moment with them. It was the first time I really had all of them together celebrating me at one time. So it was a pretty cool moment.
Okay, that's it. Can you, would you say?
Second one.
We're back here with Kirkwood football action.
Missed a little bit here, but we are back now. Only about a minute. There's the kickoff. Decent little return, and now Kirkwood's offense is on the field, and they have one problem.
We were talking during halftime about a possible all-senior lineup, but it looks like number 23, Kylan Wallace, the junior, is in for number 3, Deion Brown, in the running game. Kirkwood.
No need to injure star running back Deion Brown after a great game. In the game, Kirkwood's already up 40 points when they're looking at the horizon, looking at playoffs.
Completely agree.
Oh, that was caught one-handed. He's going to be brought down just barely. He ran a little slant route.
Really good heads-up play from the quarterback there, number 7, Creighton Watt. Or actually, I think they've got.
Owen Nesledge.
Yeah, Owen Nesledge is in the game. Second stringer's in for the running clock, second half. Kirkwood is going to be in good position to score again, and with 40-0, they got nothing to lose.
That second and third string Kirkwood offense came in, last game against McClure, and obviously Kirkwood had won the game already, but they really didn't look too terribly impressive. They weren't able to generate too much. They ended up not scoring any points in the second half. That's the most positive yardage this third string Kirkwood offense has gotten. It was a nice pass from Owen Nesledge there.
And great reception too. Managed to haul it in for about a 45-yard gain. 45-yard gain, and managed to break through 2 defenders and keep running for a substantially long time, especially given that he's playing against a senior defense.
Snap here, hand off the outside, and he will rumble into the end zone, waiting for the signal.
Yep.
That's going to be a touchdown. Touchdown, Kirkwood Pioneers. It is now 46-0 pending the extra point. That is the first offensive points the third string offense led by Owen Nesledge has actually been able to put up Of course, last week they didn't do so against McClure. Already, 9:47 remaining in the third, and Kirkwood continuing to step on the gas pedal.
Yeah, Kirkwood obviously not showing any signs of letting up Miles Kruger go for the field goal here. Or not the field goal, actually, PAT.
That one strikes true. 47-0 for the Pioneers. That touchdown on their opening drive of the second half. 9:47 remaining in the third quarter.
Hazelwood West having a worse week than Elon Musk's Twitter shares, but
Absolutely, yeah, that's fair. That dude took an L.
yeah, Hazelwood West looking kind of tough here, and obviously you can't blame them for it, but you want this game to be a little more competitive, and Kirkwood scoring with their third string offense is kind of embarrassing.
All right, real quick, I just, our camera operator, Quinn, goated individual, and has been, doing all the tech stuff this game. I want to get his thoughts real quick, but let's hand this off.
Oh, I completely agree. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, okay, so hello, my name's Quinn Sells, KHTV.
The worst journalism program here at Kirkwood High School.
No, that's your book.
Good choice.
But anyways, Hazelwood is just not. This is just not their night, and it just doesn't seem like any other games are their night because they're 0-8, so and they're about to be 0-9. I mean no disrespect to Hazelwood, of course. I'm sure they've been a good football team in the past. That's how high school sports work. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad. But
Huge kick from Miles Kruger here.
yeah, that was nice.
What do you think of Miles Kruger?
Oh well, he's a competent kicker. He's sure is better than some we've had in the past.
I personally, I think that Jet Holiday is winning the kicking war so far.
Well, he could be on the list for that. You never know.
All right, so we're gonna return to our regular scheduled play-by-play here. Kirkwood is gonna be fighting against Hazelwood at their 20. You number 3, go.
All right. We're back here. I'm back in action. Anticipation, snap, handoff. This one, a surprising play. It also goes for nothing. We have seen a good amount of that in this football game. It is now third down and 15. We'll see what Hazelwood West offense tries to draw up here. Back in action. That punt is untouched. They will crowd around it, and touch it and blow the plate dead. Nothing going on that first drive for Hazelwood West.
We've just switched back to our old mic. If the audio sounds better, please say so in chat. We're having some technical difficulties with the separate
We're chilling.
microphones.
It's fine. We're all chilling.
Okay, all right.
No, we've never done anything wrong.
This is the most perfect stream ever.
Literally. Why would you do anything else when you could be watching this stream?
Owen Backer is Joe Buck, and I am Pierre McGuire. Actually, we're just
the two best announcers in completely different sports.
That's actually not true. Pierre McGuire is one of the worst announcers.
Yeah, yes. To clarify. All right. Owen Eslich here. Throws. Caught once again on a little slant route there.
Owen Eslich has a cannon. Did you see that?
He's a left-handed.
He was pitching that.
Quarterback. They throw him a little different. Join the likes of such left-handed lefties like Tim Tebow.
Left-handed lefties.
Left-handed legends.
Oh, legends.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow, obviously a legend. I don't think he played for Kirkwood High School, though.
Unfortunately, no.
Jerry Macklin did, though. So.
Jerry Macklin did, and he's the coach of this football team. We see
Hey,
Creighton Wise on the sideline, got the headset on. Give him a clipboard. He's going full game manager mode.
I respect it.
That's a good feeling when you're a starter and you get to stand on the sideline with a clipboard.
He's playing Madden.
Yeah.
Kylan Wallace, number 23. Oh, man, he is
he
going.
rumbles forward.
Now, Pierre McGuire right now would tell you where Kylan Wallace played major junior football when he was 8 years old, but I don't have that statistic for you.
All I can tell you is that was a good run.
It was a great run. He put his shoulder down like we saw in the first half. He was getting reps before the other second stringers, and we'll probably see him heavily favored here now.
Deion Brown came in, scored 3 touchdowns, did his job, and then left and did not elaborate further. He has done what he needs to do.
It's great. They've
low snap, fumble. Oh, Neslich is hit in the backfield after
a
the low
hit.
snap.
Number 77, Wyatt Byers, managed to keep the play alive by stifling a huge push from Hazelwood West defensive line. But you've got a first-string defensive line playing against a second-string first-string defensive line playing against a second-string offensive line. So the mismatch is pretty significant.
Of
and
course.
Kirkwood's still managing to drive down the field.
Neslich, handoff here, a little bit of outside room, and he will slide past the blockers and fall forward for a first down. An excellent little run there. Some personnel changes here after the first down. Pioneers now in the red zone comfortably, in striking distance of another touchdown to add to their already 47-point lead. There is 4:37 remaining in the third quarter already. Remember that running clock rule.
Yeah, the clock is moving much faster than it did in the first half, and they're going to be in the fourth quarter here pretty quick.
Just good. Handoff once again, similar looking play. They're able to avoid the tackle and fall forward past the 5 to the 4.
Number 24, Evan Marion with the carry. He's a sophomore as well. Kirkwood going to that second string line again. We'll see if some of those JV seniors get in here. Obviously, you want to see that tonight. It's a senior night. And Kirkwood looks to be in dominant control of this game.
That is the 4th separate running back this game that the Pioneers have really gone to consistently. Pitch play here, and he will score! Breaks into the end zone. That is a touchdown for the Pioneers. Their lead is now over 50. Count it, 53 points. Looking for a 54th here on the extra point.
They're going to the second string kicker, Jed Holliday here.
They are. We didn't even see that last week when there was obviously the dominant win over McClure, but now they are even bringing in their second string special teams unit.
Hazelwood West is ranked higher than McClure and put up really a better fight to Kirkwood's run game than McClure. But they're getting dominated
worse,
here. Yeah. Holiday with the extra point.
We were discussing before the game that the line was going to be, that's a kick is good, that the line was going to be about 40.5 for Kirkwood. That's the Vegas betting line that we came up with. I bet the over, and I was very much right. It is 54-0 right now.
The Kirkwood call does not condone sports betting, however.
Right, but I do. So I said 40.5, and I was right. 54-0. There's 3 minutes and 49 seconds remaining.
You heard it here first, folks. Owen Backer is a gambling addict, and he needs help. Kirkwood to kick here. Does Holiday get the kick? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. You can't. I mean, extra points are one thing, field goals, but Miles Kruger can absolutely just blast that kickoff right through the end zone.
Engaging my true Pierre Maguire spirit, Miles Kruger played JV soccer for 2 years, so technically he's a professional kicker.
Is that true?
Yes.
Interesting. He came here with the deep research.
They don't call me Pierre Maguire for nothing.
No one calls you Pierre Maguire.
Oh, I'm so aware.
Shave your head. I dare you.
I might get fired by the Ottawa Senators first.
Okay. He already got, it's fine. This kick is booted up there. It bounces through the back of the end zone, like we said, and that will be a touchback. And once again, Hazelwood West will start the ball at the 20-yard line. That is where they have consistently started, between that 15 and 20-yard range. They haven't really been able to get anything going.
They haven't made it really past the 50-yard line. I'm not going to say anything.
To be serious, they started this game looking not like they were going to win, but having a stronger showing than McClure did last week. They were looking like, they were at least going to maybe, get some points, punch it in. But even McClure scored 6 last week. It was on a special teams play. There's nothing going for Hazelwood West so far.
Indeed. Hazelwood is, judging by the fact that number 99 is still in the field, they're still playing their starters. And Kirkwood's second-string offense and defense have been able to conquer this Hazelwood West game plan so far.
Snap, handoff here once again, and that will go nowhere. Oh no, he is actually able to break out of it a little bit, but it still goes nowhere.
Yeah, we were talking last week about how McClure had a net negative running yards, and Hazelwood West is certainly deep into that territory.
Definitely.
They have, however, over 40 yards on fake punts, which is honestly impressive given the circumstances. However, that 40 yards has contributed to a grand total of 0 points.
Something I want to point out here, obviously, Kirkwood has some second strings, third strings in the game. Number 48, linebacker Jacob Riggs is in the game. And it is interesting because he's a guy who hasn't gotten a ton of reps this season. Against Limburg, he got in for one play on defense, and like Rudy, made a tackle, forced a fumble, and was able to come out. Definitely some pretty solid, depth on this Kirkwood team, and they're getting a chance to, kind of prove themselves right now.
Yeah, it's great to see those second stringers get some reps here. Jacob Riggs to the outside. Ooh.
He is brought down. They tried a little outside play. You got to think, they're clearly, committed to running the football. Obviously, your coaches have seen their practices. They probably know their passing game isn't a real option, but you think they could diversify their run game a little bit, some speed options or some counter plays, something that's not just a dive or an inside handoff.
We saw them really trying to drive it up the middle the entire game. I guess they didn't really take that lesson too well. They're now going to the outside where Kirkwood has been putting 2 men the entire game, and they're running a relatively weak running offense into a pretty strong Kirkwood defense.
Kirkwood's D tackles have done a pretty good job of messing up that whole center of the line.
Indeed.
High snap here. He's going to throw this one. That ball is caught on the curl route before he is pushed all the way back. That'll be a gain of a few. That is the first standard forward pass we've seen from Hazelwood West that has just been a straight up catch, and then that's it. There's been no tomfoolery.
They tried it once earlier in the game, and it was picked off by
Patrick Fortune.
Yeah, Patrick Fortune, number 15.
Touchdown.
Yeah, immediate touchdown. Great play by Patrick. Hazelwood is 4th down here, and it looks like they're going to punt. They're going. Are they going for it?
1:30 remaining here.
Number 99 is not their kicker, though. They're going to fake punt this. This is a fake punt.
Nope, it is a regular punt. He took one little step and kicked it up there. That one is caught. He's running downfield. He's got a stiff arm. He's got the sideline, and he has fallen down at the 30, tied up in his legs there. But a decent return. They'll get back to the line of scrimmage for Hazelwood.
Perhaps I'm a bit of a speculator. Number 99 has been running the ball mostly for Hazelwood West, but it looks like he's a jack of all trades. And he was able to get that ball into the air pretty easily. 45 seconds remaining in this third quarter. And Kirkwood's still up by such a significant margin that I think that we're probably going to see a Sean Breaker play. False
And-
start going to be on Hazelwood West here.
Yeah, sloppy play once again. You're frustrated. You want a chance just to get that frustration out, go sack the quarterback, and you jump off sides and do nothing but hurt your own team.
Unless yep. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty on Hazelwood West. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, Kirkwood, we were ragging on Kirkwood earlier in the half, or in the game for poor play in terms of their discipline. Let's see if they get the snap off here before they got 5 seconds on the clock, or are they just going to let it run out? Yeah,
They're going to let it run out. That is the end of the third quarter. We will have one more quarter of 12 minutes be played here as they switch sides. The Kirkwood Pioneers maintain a 54-0 lead over Hazelwood West.
And the
This
band
is a drubbing.
And the band will play Hell Kirkwood.
We will be returning to action here. Little handoff, and ooh, he trucks him down and is able to pick up a couple more yards as a result.
Number 24, Evan Marion with the carry. We have a bit of an injury update for you. We had a big injury earlier in the first half, and the player who was injured returned to the field. He's in a wheelchair on the sideline now, but he's back with his teammates and appears to be okay.
Yes, at least, there is obviously concern when somebody goes down that, you fear the worst, but he was conscious and he did sit up and was walked off the field. Appears to be a leg injury.
Number 21, Tyson Sanders.
Ooh, handoff there, and he is hit, but is able to spin out of the wrap-up and fall forward for an extra yard or two.
Number 24, Evan Marion again with the carry. He's a sophomore, and obviously the weight disadvantage is significant against the senior lineman, and he got hit really hard there.
First down and 10. Handoff. He's got some space, and that hole closed up quickly. Be a gain of a few.
I think that's the difference between Kirkwood's first stringers and their second stringers, is that ability to find the hole. The number 24, Evan Marion, unable to find a gap in Hazelwood West lineman. And the difference being Deion Brown has been able to find gaps in their linemen, was able to find it 3 times for 3 touchdowns. So obviously that development of those younger players is interesting to see as they get into the game here.
That improvisational skills. Handoff here. Brought down. They're slowly matriculating the ball down the field. It's 3rd down and 4.
Just keep on matriculating that ball down the field.
That's what they're doing. They are matriculating.
That's not a bad thing.
3rd down and 4. Big play offense is obviously fun. You see a big, 60-yard touchdown or whatever, but it is also important to be able to put together a slow, methodical drive down the field and pick up, chunk yardage over and over again.
Completely agree. That's how you prepare for the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That's what playoff football is about. It's about, being able to grind out those small plays and chip away at the yardage. 3rd down and 4 from their own 20, or from the Hazelwood West 20. Ooh, false start.
That's a
Hazelwood
big
West.
old false
Wow.
start. That man barreled through the offensive line.
That was a big infraction. Wowee.
Can that be more than 5 yards?
I think I'm going to give him a 10 yards for trying to go over to Kirkwood's house there. That was interesting. Yeah, we're actually we decide all the yardages.
I've been wearing a zebra costume this whole time.
Oh, I didn't get the memo on that one. Sorry, guys.
And that player will be subbed out after the. Like, it could just be not
He's gonna
necessarily
get
not
quite-
necessarily a punishment, maybe just a personnel change, but
And he get tripped by the first down
with
markers.
the chain gang.
Poor guy. I feel for him.
That's
unfortunate.
multiple L's in rapid succession. It is first down and 10 now for the Pioneers.
Number 77, my favorite. Wyatt Byers on the field blocking for the Pioneers.
Your favorite?
He's my favorite because he's on the call. So,
Snap, handoff.
Marion.
Owen Nestlich was lined up as a receiver on that play.
He was.
Quarterback was number 27.
Number 27, Will Powder. He's usually an offensive back wide receiver, but he's getting the ball. I think we're on the third string, Coach Backer.
Yes, that appears to be maybe a little bit of a wildcat, maybe, I don't know, but they snapped it to him and they handed it off back to Marion anyway. And they're in that same formation.
You see, it's funny because we're playing the Wildcats.
Yes.
Powder
Handoff.
again, Marion.
Oh, he
gonna
spins
spin in
out
the
of
end zone.
it, and he
Touchdown!
will score!
Wow.
Touchdown, Pioneers! He refused to go down, and he extends his arms, the ball into the end zone. He crosses the plane. That is a touchdown. The Tubas are chilling. Everybody's having a great time.
Kirkwood's
The
on
lead
there.
is now 60-0 for the Pioneers, with an extra point pending.
Kirkwood has put in their scrubs though. It's we're playing the third stringers at this point, and
I wouldn't call them scrubs, to be fair. No, to clarify, I wouldn't call them scrubs, obviously. But relatively speaking, they are not at the same level as the starters. You know, you're underclassmen. You know, they're not as far in their development. That kick is
Jed
good.
Holiday with a great kick, 61-0, the lead. We're having fun with it up here in the booth. I apologize.
Most points
Was that Holiday?
That was Holiday. The most points I have ever seen the Kirkwood Pioneers score in my 18 years was 64.
I believe that was at the Turkey Day game last year. Yes.
No, I mean we did score like 60 something last year, but it was 65 rather. In Turkey Day game also isn't doesn't count technically. The most points I've seen to score in an actual game on record was 64 points, and we currently have 61. So we'll see. I mean, with 8:05 remaining in the fourth, it is fairly likely that we break that.
Third stringer is still in though. I apologize for anyone who I offended if I called them scrubs. That's my fault. But they're third stringers, and we're one step away from putting the freshmen in, especially given that it's 61-0. Obviously, you have to feel for Hazelwood West here. We came to watch football, not a blowout.
Again,
So-
you do have to. We talked about this with McClure last week, though. You have to admire like the mental toughness. Like these people like football. You go to all the weights. You know, you go to all the practices. You commit yourself to this for months and months and months and months, and then ultimately all that's supposed to culminate in the reward of winning football games, and they don't get that, and they know that going in that they're not going to be a strong team, but they, for the love of the game, continue to leave it all on the field and try their best. And even if you're not in a place with a great football program, I mean, if you love football, this is what they're doing. You gotta admire that.
Miles Kruger with the kick.
Getting ready.
I'm wagering $10 that he boots this to the end zone.
Okay, we're micro betting on everything now.
You are a gambling addict, so.
As established earlier, that ball is up, lost in the lights a little bit, and that one is muffed again. Whew. Kruger must kick a knuckleball. Nobody's been able to catch it. Oh, he sheds a tackle. He is, wrapped up on his leg there by, is that number 48, Jacob Riggs, I see? Oh, yes, it is. Everybody is losing their mind on the sideline. They are dapping this man up. He came in and made the tackle. Oh, my.
It's not Jacob
Jack,
Riggs.
that is not. That's number 49.
Number 49, Randall Richardson.
Randall Richardson. Same result.
Randall Richardson is a freshman, so we've got freshmen in the game at this point.
There we go. A big kick return tackle. Now, 1st and 10 from the 34. That was a pretty decent return. If Hazelwood, McClure, we didn't think was going to score last week, and they were able to put a touchdown on the board on some special teams play, but they were able to at least put 6 up. We'll see if Hazelwood West is going to leave this scoreless or if they're going to put something on. There's still that incentive to not get shut out.
The band is going crazy. I'm gonna be honest. When I walk into a football game, the first thing that strikes me is the sound of the band, and I think that it makes the
It gives
football
that
game a
atmosphere.
football game. I completely agree.
I just realized I have a platform now, so I'm going to hit you with this hot take. I think NFL teams need a band. Like, you could pay
I
a
agree.
high-quality orchestra to play some intimidating stuff. Screen pass here. He's going to cut up field, and he will get about 6. But, like, you feel like a band, like getting a high-quality band. I mean, you see how cool it is in college.
Oh, yeah,
In the
it's
NFL,
great.
you could get, like, a bunch of professionals to come in and just have, like, 1,000-man orchestra.
I
And they
really
could
want
be
an
so intimidating.
I think that having an orchestra, say I'm the Los Angeles Rams, right, and I have a stadium that's built for sound, or I'm the Seattle Seahawks, and I have a stadium that's the loudest
Right.
stadium in the world. I want to play some
tunes.
cool tunes, dude.
QB draw here.
So number
First
99,
down.
number 99 has now played defensive back, offensive back, linebacker, running back, wide
Quarterback
receiver,
and punter.
Yeah, he's played just about everything. But you know what they say about a jack of all trades, right?
What did it say about a jack of all trades?
A jack of all trades is a master of none.
I think this guy just mainly doesn't have an offensive line, but that too.
He also probably is the the most well-versed player on Hazelwood Central's team.
Absolutely. He hasn't looked terrible. I mean, when you're, his stats obviously aren't great, but when you're running into a sea of nothing, and you have to try to make something out of nothing, he's gotten at least a few yards here.
He's running into a sea of freshmen right now. We'll see what happens, though. Pierre McGuire would tell you where he played.
You don't have
PB
that
football.
research?
I don't have that research, unfortunately. I think number 48, Jacob Riggs, is on the field, and the eyes on Mr. Owen Backer to my left are wide as can be, looking for a
Plastered
Jacob
on
Riggs
that man.
sacker.
The dude's solid. As
Solid.
is, again, the depth on this Kirkwood High School football team,
Yeah.
they may not have the most high caliber superstar talent on the defensive side, but they play a solid game. They game plan, they coordinate, they play as a team,
Yeah.
and they've got good players all up and down the lineup if there's injuries or what have you. And I think that the defense is underrated for this Kirkwood team.
Completely agree. 4 minutes left.
Whew, launches this one deep. And that
That's
is well overthrown.
sailing.
Notice something different here.
I think that was tipped. He's
Quarterback
swinging his arm.
doesn't really step up. That was a very 70s, like, I have the football and now all arm motion, let's throw it. Very interesting technique there.
So, which quarterback would you compare him to?
Jeff George.
That's a solid one. I like
Yeah.
that. That's good.
Except Jeff George wasn't also a punter and a defensive back and a lineman and a running back.
I don't
and a
know, if you
receiver.
cut off this quarterback's toes, you could put one of those shoes on him.
Oh, yeah,
the
special
old,
kicking shoes.
Yeah, the old flat-toed kicking shoes, and he'd be just as good as Jeff George.
Here you go. Snap another QB draw. He's got some space.
They're driving up this
finally
field.
able to break through that initial wave of Kirkwood defenders before they're eventually brought down.
So Kirkwood has pulled their second liners for the linemen and is
Alex
now on the
Ludwig sprinting off.
Yeah, they're now on the third line.
That was a beautiful play by Alex Ludbrook to run from the huddle to the sideline in a very quick time.
We know who your friends are on back. Thank you. though.
Hey, it's just interesting. They
Uh-huh.
ran pretty fast.
Okay.
Up here, another QB draw. If it works, and they'll get past the first down on that one. That was a 4th and 2, and he'll get 4.
I think that Hazelwood Central or Hazelwood West has looked pretty strong so far against this fourth quarter third string defense. There's not really much to. Oh, we've got an injured player on the field, and we'll
Charge timeout. We'll step away real quick.
We'll step away.
We have returned after that injury. It doesn't appear to be too terribly serious. They walked off on their own power, and we will resume play here. It is a 1st down and 10 with 2:40 remaining.
Drops back. Huge pressure.
Throws,
Ooh.
And the receiver will fall down. Slips before he's able to catch the ball.
For my pre-calc fans, he formed a 30-60-90 triangle with the ground there. So
I don't know who out there is a fan of pre-calc, but God have mercy on your soul.
So the angle that he was throwing with the ground, his long side would have been a root 3 of the short side, and the longest side would
Out
have
of
been.
all the hobbies, why would one choose math?
Sorry,
Hey, do we have one Evan Thornberry in the house?
I think that I saw Evan Thornberry actually in the stands. We'll see if we can get him up
Oh,
here.
did you?
Go get him.
Oh, hand off. Timeout taken. Looks like another injury. We will step away once again.
We're not evil like Monday Night Football, so we're not going to show you the injury. But we will talk to you about how we've got plenty of seniors on the field right now. And we're hoping that some of those JV seniors get in. We've got Jacob Riggs, Alex Ludbrook, Wyatt Byers has gotten in. Plenty of seniors who don't usually get playing time have gotten playing time, and I think that they're probably grateful to the Kirkwood coaches for allowing this opportunity. You've got 1:50 left in this fourth quarter now.
See what they do. I will say
Hazelwood West trying to get their first points of the half game.
they seem primed to. Also, I will say Alex Ludberg is not a JV man. That dude starts. But yes, okay. We are ready. Snap. Drops back to pass. Looking, launches this one deep. He's got a man, and he couldn't quite come back and make the catch. He was primed to do so, but it just went through his hands. It's going to be an incompletion. It is now 4th down and 7 with 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining. That clock is winding despite the incompletion due to the 35-point rule.
Long huddle here for the Wildcats. They're going to go for it, obviously. They've only got a minute
They
left in this
want
game.
points before the game is over.
Kirkwood's not going to break their point record, but they certainly look poised.
Never
to-
say never. We can get a fumble 6 or something here.
Kirkwood's going to... that's a good point. Kirkwood's going to advance to, I believe, 6-3 on the season.
6-3 on the season. That's correct. They or 5-3 on the season rather. Ball run to the outside wasn't, or that pass to the outside rather. That will move the chains. It was close.
$40 left now in this game. It's
That was out of bounds, so the clock did stop. We see some hype here.
the line's getting hype. Sean Brecker's on the field. Oh my goodness.
Yes, he's in the huddle.
Sean Brecker, number 35, is in the huddle. He's getting playing time. You have no idea how happy I am
talking
right
to
now.
him.
He's on the line.
Everybody's scared. The band playing some Jaws music. Nice way to
Come on,
end it
Sean.
here. Handoff. Oh, he rumbles through a man. Then go for a few 30 seconds here and winding.
I can't believe it.
Senior night, everybody is pretty excited. Obviously, the fans, the coaches, the players. Kirkwood overall played a pretty solid game. Obviously, they were expected to win this contest, but it's not just if you win, it's how you win. After the first quarter, they didn't take too many bad penalties. They didn't do anything too terrible. They, as of right now, gave up no points.
That's it.
Yep, that'll be it. They're walking to do the handshake line, one of the better traditions in
Actually,
sports.
no, I believe they're calling a timeout.
We're going to see exactly what's happening here.
I'm hoping Sean gets one more play.
It's a charge timeout to Hazelwood. They really do want to put points on the board here before the game is out. You can respect that.
If I'm Hazelwood West coach here, obviously I want my boys to go home with something to talk about, be proud
A
about.
touchdown, something to hang your hat on.
Yeah, everyone else is lined up on the sideline. Not a lot of parents showed up for the game tonight. Obviously, you pity the Hazelwood West kids. Getting blown out by a big school like this, it's got such a huge community around football. Got to be upsetted. It's unfortunate, but Kirkwood comes away with a huge win tonight, and looking forward to that home playoff game.
I said on the playoffs.
We will be back here to broadcast for you for that playoff game, and we are so excited.
The hype will be doubled, even tripled, I might say.
Flag on the play. 9 minutes left, or 9 seconds left,
rather.
and that's gonna do it.
That'll do it. They'll let it wind. Game is over. The Kirkwood Pioneers will take this one. Count it 61-0 over the Hazelwood West Wildcats.
Let's get a little review on this game. Kirkwood started off really strong. Deion Brown with 3 touchdowns in the first half. Incredible. And we saw the third stringers come in for the second half. It's a couple of second stringers. Offensive and defensive lines both look strong. Kylan Wallace with a game of note as a running back, had 2 touchdowns of his own. And Kirkwood's depth, again, astonishing.
Yes.
My favorite, number 35, Sean Breaker, got 1 play, and we are so proud of Sean. I think that'll do it here from us, from the Kirkwood Call and the KHTV studio. We appreciate you joining us tonight. I'm Mason Heller alongside Owen Backer. Thank you so much. We're
Thanks,
out.
y'all.
Out.